Alright, Shalom. I would like to give all praise and glory to Yahawah Shem, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of the earth, waiting on the return of Yahweh HaMashiach to deliver us out of this last captivity. Okay, on this lesson, I'm going to touch on the fact that the so-called African Americans, the people you call black people over here in America, are not Africans, okay? And even the people that you refer to as Africans over there in Africa, they're not Africans, okay? They go back to the biblical Canaanites in the Bible from the seed of Ham, which make them Hamites, okay? Nobody is African because Africa was named after this man right here, this so-called white man, Scipio Africanus, okay? So if you're calling yourself African, you're basically saying, you know, you come from this man's lineage, okay? Because just like over here in America, a lot of us so-called black people, African Americans, and even Hispanics and Native Americans, we have our slave master's last name, okay? We still have our slave master's last name, but do we come from their lineage? Hell no, you know. Some of us may do if you're a tear, you know, but majority of us no, man. You know, we lost our Hebrew nationality throughout slavery, okay? So I'm just gonna touch on some things that reveals that the people you call black in America are actually from the children of Israel, you know, the seed of Jacob, okay? So I'm gonna start in Luke chapter 19, and I'm gonna go down to verse 41. And this is the one you call Jesus Christ. This is him speaking. This is an instance with him before he went into the temple and started beating ass because they were making it a den of thieves. They were robbing the people, you know, in the temple, man, you know. But anyways, this is Luke chapter 19, verse 41. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, saying, If thou hadst known, even thou at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes. For the days shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round about, and keep thee in on every side. And he's speaking to the children of Israel right here, okay? The people that were amongst him at this time, you know, before he entered the temple, because he took a look at the temple, okay? And basically what he was letting them know is, because we know the one you call Jesus Christ, Hebrew name being Yahawadah. Yahawadah, he knew everything that was going to befall the children of Israel, and he knew that the temple was going to be sacked and destroyed, okay? Now in 70 AD, we all know you had the Roman persecution, okay? Which two main generals we know of, Titus and Vespasian, you know, they helped led that charge against Jerusalem. But you had, if I'm not mistaken, three major revolts, okay, during the Roman reign toward the end of the Roman rulership upon Israel, where Israel was fighting the Roman Empire, okay? You had groups like the Zealots, okay? Um you had other groups too, but I can't think of them at this time that were fighting against the Roman rulership. And like I said, you had three major revolts, and through those, like that last revolt, that last major revolt, what the Roman army did was they built a trench around Jerusalem, around Israel, okay, so that they couldn't leave or come in, you know. So there was no food coming in, and there was no way for you to escape unless you just said fuck it, you know, and ran out there and got killed or whatever, became a slave or became a servant to their will or whatever it may be, you know. So what he's saying here is, for the day shall come upon thee that thy enemy shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round and keep thee in on every side. And that's what happened, you know. Israel got destroyed, man, you know. The tribes that were in Israel at that time were Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Now you did have a few northern kingdom left, but majority of the northern kingdom had came over here to the Americas, you know, after they went through the Assyrian captivity, okay? But Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, you know, the southern kingdom, which was known as Judea during the time of Yahushua ministry, they were the ones left, and he was prophesying to them that they were going to have to, you know, this is what was going to befall them, okay? This is verse 44. And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, okay? And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. And what does the scriptures always say? The scriptures say, watch therefore. You know, you always gotta watch, you know. Israel obviously wasn't watching, you know, because they would have known if they were watching and actually had a spiritual sense about themselves and wasn't so hypocritical. They would have known that Yahawashi was the king that they were looking forward to coming, pursuant to the law, pursuant to the Torah, you know. But I mean, you had disciples that follow him and a multitude that follow him, but the majority of Israel didn't follow him, you know, and they gave him up, you know. They crucified him, you know. They gave him away to the Romans, okay, you know. So they didn't. What he's saying is, you didn't know the time of your visitation, and that's what happened in this. That's what happened in 70 A.D. to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in bulk. Okay. Now, this is Luke chapter 21, and I want to get. I guess I'll start at verse 20. Now this is taken. Okay, this is going into what we just read in Luke chapter 19 when he said they're gonna build a trench around you, the Roman army, and then, you know, they're basically gonna destroy the temple, and, you know, this is going more in depth into that, okay? So this is Luke chapter 21 verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. Now, he's saying, let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains. Okay. Now I have some maps pulled up. I hope who's ever seeing this can see it clearly. But you know, Israel is right up in here. Okay. So when he said flee to the mountains, you know, what Israel did was they fled into the northern part. You have the Atlas Mountains up here, and over here, you know, over to the west coast of Africa. So they flew. You know, you got I guess it's the Ahagar Mountains, Tibetsi Mountains. So you have mountains all up in this region here. Okay, that's around Niger and Benin and Mali, and, you know, all over here, the western part of Africa, northern part of Africa, all up in here. That's what he meant when he said flee into the mountains, okay? Now, how do we know that these are the mountains he flew into? And even I got a map here too also. So you can see that Israel is right here. And you know, they took this right there, you know, and all up in here. How do we know that this is the way they went? Well, where did Yahawashi's parents flee to when Herod wanted to kill the firstborns? Because of the prophecy of the Messiah Israel. Okay, let's get that real fast in Matthew, just for edification's sake. Just bear with me while this loads. Okay, Matthew chapter 2, and we're going to read verse 12. Okay. This is Matthew chapter 2, verse 12. And being warned of the Most High in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed in their own country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, Yahawashi's father, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. So, here we have the Lord's parents taking him into Egypt. And why is that? Because, like I said earlier, the Canaanites, the ancient Egyptians, which ruled Egypt, which was called Mizraim back in that day, they could blend in with those people because they were also dark-skinned people. Okay, so they could. It was easy for them to blend in. If they couldn't blend in, it wouldn't be no point in them fleeing there. You know. So when he told them, matter of fact, hold on 1 second. I'm pull up another scripture, because the Lord made it a point to make a distinction the Lord made it a point to make a distinction that Israel and Ham, the Hamites, Canaanites, are not the same people, okay? So I just want to get that real quick. This is the book of Exodus. And this is, this is when coincidentally, Israel was fleeing Egypt, okay? And who had Israel in slavery? The ancient Egyptians, the Canaanites, are also dark-skinned nation, okay? So this is Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. So though they look the same, they have different spirits about them, okay? The Canaanites, which you call Africans, the Ethiopians over there today, they like to put big plates in their lips and eat they eat animal manure. They smear it all over their face. They do all type of abominable acts that Israel doesn't have in their spirit to do. Now, some Israelites may do it now just for the simple fact that Israel has been swallowed up amongst the Gentiles and has become wicked as the Gentiles, and in most cases even more wicked, okay? Now, I also want to pull up an instance in the scriptures, another instance of Israel being mistaken for a Hamite, because Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian, okay? Why? Because he was also a dark-skinned man. This is Acts chapter 21, and I'm going to read, I'm going to go down to verse 37. And as Paul was to be led into the council, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, Can thou speak Greek? He said, Who said, Can thou speak Greek? Art not thou that Egyptian, which before these days made us an uproar and led us out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? And we know Paul wasn't an Egyptian, but he's going to go on to say, verse 39, but Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew of Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, a citizen of no mean city. So he was a citizen of Tarsus, but he was a Jew by nationality, but he was mistaken for an Egyptian. So let's go back to Luke 21 and read that verse again, okay? So now that we got a clear clarification of what's going on. Okay, verse 21. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. Now, when he said, like we said, flee into those mountains, these are the mountains. Now that we have the understanding of what, because Yahawadah himself fled into Egypt, fled into Africa, because Egypt is in Africa, So this is where Israel fled, man, okay? This is where they blend in at, okay? Those Khazar Jews in the land today, those Ashkenazi Jews, they will not be able to blend in with the ancient Canaanites for the simple fact that they are pale, that the blood shows forth through their skin, and they are the seed of Esau, Edom, okay? And their elites know this, okay? Now, let's continue. And let not them that are in the countries enter therein too, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So after 70 AD, when Israel had to flee into the mountains, the interior mountains of Africa, the majority, okay, Jerusalem is going to be trodden down until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, until the Messiah of Israel comes back and puts everything in order, okay? Now, I want to bring up just an example of one of the places where Israel dwelt. Judea, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. This is the kingdom of Whydah, okay? And you can just Google this. It'll pull right up for you. So let's click on this Wikipedia explanation. And it goes on to say, the Kingdom of Whydah was a kingdom on the coast of West Africa in the boundaries of modern nation of Benin. What did I say they fled into? The mountains of West Africa, Northern Africa, around Benin, Sierra Leone, those type of places, okay? Between 1677 and 1681, it was conquered by the Akwamu, one of the Akan people. Here's a key point. It was a major slave trading post. In 1700, it had a coastline of around 16 kilometers under King Hotham. You got this is the point I wanted to bring out here. It was a major slave trading post. Because when you read Joel, the 3rd chapter, I'm not going to get it, because I don't want this video to be too long. Because, Jake's attention span is, when you read Joel, the 3rd chapter, it speaks about Tyre and Zidon in Palestine, okay, that's the Arabs and the Canaanites selling Judah, Benjamin, and Levi to the so-called white man, okay? That Joel, the 3rd chapter, basically speaks about the transatlantic slave trade in Africa. So this is one of the major slave trading posts, okay? And when you go into the root word of the kingdom of Whydah, it translates into these other words. And you can look this up yourself, okay? Just like I did. It says Ouda, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, historically also called Whydah or Whydah. Judah, is Judah not the head tribe of Israel? Is Judah not the tribe that Yahawadah came from, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ? Juida by the French, Ahuda by the Portuguese, formerly the kingdom of Whydah. So it was known as Judah on the west coast of Africa. And where did they flee? Into the interiors of Africa, okay? So I wanted to bring that out, man, because, hey, like the scriptures say, the earth helped the woman. In Revelation, the earth helped the woman. The earth is helping us regain our nationality, man. By revealing these things unto us, okay? Now, I want to see something. Let me put this picture up. And let me see if that's going to be clear enough to see. I don't think that'll be clear enough to see. Yeah. So here we have an image of a map. And this is close up. And this is the area in Africa where the kingdom of Whydah or the kingdom of Judah was. And it says slave coast, okay? Let me pull up some more images. Pull up. So this is basically all I wanted to touch on in this lesson, but as you can see, we have the kingdom of Benin right here, kingdom of Whydah, see the kingdom of Judah, see Judah right there. This is an ancient map, from around that time, late 1600s to the early 1700s, This is all where Israel was dwelling, man. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, Oh man. And look at this image, Look at this look at him, Look at that, man, That's clearly our people keeping their customs, And like I said, you can look this up yourself, and go more into it. I'm sure many other brothers have already went into it, but these things have to continue to come out for edification's sake. But yeah, with that, I want to say shalom. I hope brothers was edified. Shalom.